All right, my friends, welcome to episode 353 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. Over there is Anthony, the dev at SummerSpeak, and we did it. We called the Nintendo Direct into being.
Exactly.
Finally, yeah, every week when you predict it,
A
it finally
broken
happens.
watch is correct twice a day.
Exactly. It makes us seem so smart. So we got that, but then the same day we also had a Sony State of Play, and then TGS has had some shit going on this week. So this is going to be an epic 5-hour podcast where we break down everything that came out.
Yeah.
So why don't we just get right into it? Let's start with sequentially. Let's start with the Nintendo Direct.
Sure.
There was a lot of
and it started with a bang.
Oh, it did. Yes.
I mean, this had been leaked / rumored for 6 months at this point.
For a while, yeah, exactly.
Since at least the spring.
Fire Emblem Engage is what we're talking about.
We didn't know the name. We just knew there was this like complete Fire Emblem game that Nintendo had just sitting there.
Yep, ready to go whenever they wanted to drop it.
That had like a blue and red haired protagonist.
Yep.
And boom, there we go. And then they showed in the trailer. Is kind of a celebration, I think, of the franchise game, because like a core concept of it is summoning emblems, heroes from previous games.
I know, they're like, let's take Fire Emblem Heroes, the mobile game, and put it into a full-fledged Fire Emblem game. I was listening to the Direct as I was driving, so I just had audio only, and I heard them say Marth, and I was like, wait, what's happening? And then I watched it later and got super hyped because I was so confused. Just listening to it, I didn't really get what it was, but watching it, oh my gosh, you can like pull in the like Lynn is in here, like all of them.
Yeah.
Old Fire Emblem characters, man.
Byleth.
Right.
Yep. Because I watched a thing because I don't know all the Fire Emblem things, but I watched a little YouTube video that went through the trailer, and at the beginning they show like the stained glass kind of thing, and that someone's like pause and went through every hero on that.
That's where I saw Lynn right here. It was the long-haired long green hair.
Yep. And there's a lot of names I don't know because I haven't played a lot of Fire Emblems. So, but yeah, I was curious if is it Fire Emblem Three Houses was Byleth, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and then they got the end. They're like, yep, Byleth is there too. And there has been confirmed, like Three Houses, you get to choose your main character's gender at the beginning.
Very cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't know. I saw it. I watched it. I was like, "Yep, I'm on board." It's out January next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so relatively soon.
Couldn't hit the holiday, but I guarantee you they wanted this one for the holiday. I doubt it was done. I'll be honest.
You doubt it's still done? You doubt it's
I felt that it's still being worked on. It's being polished. Even when the rumors that like people were like, "Hey, there's this Fire Emblem game that's done," I'm like, I doubt it's done. Yeah. I'm sure it's far along. The trailer makes it seem like it's keeping some elements from Three Houses, when more the like
a place
between battles,
upgrade and stuff like that.
Place you can upgrade and talk to people and do different things there. Like it's not the teaching thing. You're not a professor, so you don't have to deal with that.
I'm like, that is the most exciting part of this whole fucking game. I keep trying to go back to Three Houses, and I just put it down.
You're like, this is too much.
I don't want this.
It's too close.
I don't want to think about work while I'm playing a game. Get the fuck. And that sucks. I love Fire Emblem, but I just can't I cannot get past it. I keep trying, and I just can't.
Yeah.
So this I'm very excited about.
Yeah. That was a great way to start this.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Start with the bang.
Yep. Okay.
Well, and you're right too. Like they probably wanted this for holiday, because like throughout the rest of the Direct, I was looking for like first party fall games, and there really aren't any. You know, there weren't
Nothing
a lot of
announced
first party
here.
games, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's gonna be another Direct or some other stuff that will happen that will be like, hey, here's some stuff actually coming.
I'm just like
not to put everything in here. Basically.
Yeah, I mean there's too much, but I'm still holding out hope for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Like my daughter and I just finished Wind Waker for the second time, and you know what she wanted to play today? We played Disney Dreamlight Valley for a little bit, and she just wasn't too into it, which I was surprised, which is fine, whatever. She's like, Dad, can we please play Wind Waker? And I was like, we just finished Wind Waker. I know, but I want to play again. I'm going to pay attention to everything, even the girl on the hill with the pig. I'm going to talk to everyone and listen to everyone. I think Wind Waker is my favorite game of all time. I'm like, I know it is.
Yeah, you're like, that's great. You don't have the broadest
yeah, exactly.
library of games that you've experienced, but
let me show you Super Metroid.
That, I mean, it's a good choice. It's a solid choice.
Let's play something else. Like, I want to play a Link game. Okay, how about Breath of the Wild? It's kind of like Wind Waker, but like more grown up. And she's like, nope. And we went through, and I was like, you know what? I got something for you. And I put on Phantom Hourglass on the Wii U, and she was so into it. And I was like, all right, we're gonna continue the Wind Waker story. I've never played this. This is gonna be great. And I was like, the Wii U is just my Zelda machine because they refuse to put this shit on the fucking Switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, hold on. I hope you're right. There's another Direct. I hope so.
I think so. This Direct, spoilers for people listening later and stuff, the Switch is just a JRPG machine.
Yeah, baby.
At this point, like, holy crap. We'll get to it. So yeah, they start with Fire Emblem. It Takes Two is coming.
Yep.
There.
It's good.
Sure, it's
Hope
a good game.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's Unreal, so it's probably going to run like shit. Awesome. Unless they do a lot of work.
Yeah.
From first-hand experience, if you want an Unreal 4 game to run well on the Switch, you have to do a lot of work. But
I mean, to be honest,
cool.
it doesn't look that great from the screenshot.
Yeah, it's
or the
very,
video,
it's muddy.
So,
it's muddy and everything. Like,
but,
very low res.
Exactly. They'll sell some copies, I'm sure.
Then we got Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. I never played a Fatal Frame game.
Nope, me neither.
It's all horror, so I'm like
taking pictures, yeah.
But I'm like, what was Fatal Frame?
There was a Wii U game. I think that was like a remake of a GameCube game.
It was PS2 was the first one.
Okay.
So it was a PS2 survival horror game.
Yeah. Those words don't do anything for me.
Yeah, it doesn't do it really much for me either, unfortunately. I've heard people excited about though, and I'm sure it's a long-running Koei Tecmo franchise. So
this Direct definitely spoke to the there's a game in here for everybody, and not every game's gonna be for me. And this was one of them.
They moved to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Expansion Pass Wave 2 with a very weird hero-looking character.
Mechanical body.
Yeah. Which we'll get to that. I have not actually finished this game yet. I really need to just take the time to do it.
I bought this game today.
Okay.
Not that I'm gonna be playing it anytime soon, but I don't know. I feel like Xenoblade fucking games go out of print at some point. Like the 2 seems hard to get right now, so I'm like, I'm just gonna get it because I want to play it eventually.
Good plan. I think eventually I'll get the expansion pass because I'm curious. With this one, the first one and this one, it seems like there's going to be a decent chunk of content in it.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. SpongeBob game.
It's like a 3D platformer. Is that right?
Yeah. SpongeBob doesn't do it. For whatever reason, I missed the whole SpongeBob craze.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a remake or a new one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad about it, like, because I have friends that are like, honestly, a little younger than us that love SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And I feel like SpongeBob was really big right when we were going to college. And I just didn't watch TV.
Yeah, I didn't watch TV either. I associate people who smoked a lot of weed or who were just kids.
Yeah.
So, not me, unfortunately. Fitness boxing. This is what Nintendo Switch is so cool for. You get random weird shit that other things don't have. Fitness boxing. Sounds good.
Fitness boxing, Fist of the North Star.
Yeah. Like, that's a very interesting franchise to turn this into, but okay.
They're like, this... So am I going to be beating things to bloody pulps?
That's what it looks like. Oh my gosh. The way that's dancing with these fucking crazy, brutish armor dudes is just hilarious.
Yeah.
So that's for somebody. Enjoy.
Yep.
Recruit a team.
They put the wrong trailer in the article we're looking at.
Yes,
Oddballers. Oddballers is the next thing, which is competitive. Yeah, it's a dodgeball-ish game, like a multiplayer dodgeball party game.
Sound like those terms. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it could be. I think it could be a fun, like that, just simple party game. Yeah. Get together, just play ridiculous dodgeball. So, it came out of just another random one. They're like, here, enjoy.
Yeah.
Tunic
coming to the Switch. I gotta play that on Game Pass. It looks like, obviously Zelda with a fox sort of thing.
Zelda with a fox with more Souls-ish combat.
Yeah.
Honestly, in some ways, less forgiving. I've watched some people play it, less forgiving than like Elden Ring, which you've been playing.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
Like it's a little, like their stamina mechanics are a little bit rougher, I would say.
I'll turn on the
a little meaner.
They turn on those invincibility mechanics for a bit.
Yeah, just to get through some stuff. But
yeah, exactly. I don't know what Front Mission is, which is the next.
I am hyped.
Really? Okay. I'm glad.
Well, I'm. The thing that made me the most exciting about this isn't that it's Front Mission 1 and 2. They're remakes. That's cool. These are old Square Enix mecha RPGs, tactical mecha games.
Okay.
Front Mission 3 is the one I put a couple hundred hours into on the PS1.
Okay.
That was basically probably one of the main games I was playing freshman year of college. Because it came out, I was looking at, came out September of 1999. I played a lot of Front Mission 3, and 1 and 2 are coming out. Front Mission 3 first remake is coming out November, I think. Second one is soon after, and then in this trailer and the third one will be coming soon.
And that's the one you're hyped for?
That's the one that it's a complexity thing. I remember I pulled down emulation because the first and second are SNES games, and they never came to the US originally.
Oh.
Like when it was the SNES versions, they never. But people had fan subbed them, patched in English into them, and I remember downloading and emulating it and being like, "Wow, these are way simpler than 3." To a point, I'm like, "Yeah, they're just simple games, like simple JRPGs from early on." And I think 3 just upped the complexity just to the point where I wanted it. But I'm excited to give these a try. Again, they're completely remaking them all in 3D. Again, this is where I say the Switch is just a JRPG machine. Tactics, RPGs, and just your full-on JRPGs. Just a ton of them. They're coming to the Switch. So I believe, this is all Square Enix on that.
Right.
I'm excited for that. And we get another remake after that. Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. This is Harvest Moon.
It's like the beginning of farm time for this direct, but
it is farm time for this direct. There's a lot of farming games. But I'm pretty sure this
is the continuation of Harvest Moon, right? Story of Seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, and this is just this was the Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life was on the GameCube. It was like one of the first Harvest Moons that got really, really big in the West. So it's coming back.
I feel like, I don't know, when Stardew Valley was, 2016?
Oh,
does that sound right?
Maybe. Yeah, Stardew Valley was 2016. Yes, nice. February.
Nailed it. Lagging behind in terms of time, but man, I feel like the Stardew Valley effect is hitting in 2022, at least with this direct.
It's that and Animal Crossing being so successful.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Animal Crossing isn't specifically a farm sim game.
Yeah.
But if you look at Stardew Valley, its main inspirations were Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing, kind of combining elements of those.
Yeah.
And so I feel like Animal Crossing being so insanely popular in 2020 has made other studios be like, wait a second, we have games like this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think, what did I tell my wife? she tried a Harvest Moon on the DS originally. She had played, and she's like, it was really confusing. And she's played a ton of Stardew Valley, and she's like, Stardew Valley was much easier to understand.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I've heard that they're making changes to this one, though. There's been interviews, and that they're like no relationship is gender locked anymore.
Oh.
So you can date anyone you want to in the game. They're making some just other like quality of life improvements. That's the big one. So it's not just like a 1-to-1. It is in fact a remake with changes and adapting for current market. So I don't know, but that was crazy. Next for you, I don't know if you are you going to be playing Splatoon?
I don't know. I keep hearing how great it is, but I like Splatoon 1 and 2, and I bought them both. But I drop off so hard because of the motion controls that I don't think. I think I'll probably wait for a sale on this.
Sure. I mean, not like anyone in Japan waited for a sale.
Oh, Jesus, I know it went crazy with this game.
Best launch ever for a game, ever.
It's crazy
for Japan. 3.75 million copies.
And is that
of this game
best
sold.
launch ever for a Nintendo game or for any game?
No,
ever?
Any game ever.
Fucking hell. Good stuff, Nintendo. They know what they got.
I guess so. Like, I knew it was popular in Japan. I did not realize it was that popular in Japan. I have never played a single one of them.
You haven't played a single minute of Splatoon?
Nope.
Oh man, it's really fun. It is really fun.
I have two of my good friends here. They picked it up I was like, and I told them, I'm like, guilty admission. You can revoke my gamer card. I have never played a Splatoon. And they're like, no, I don't have to revoke. Like, you get it. And I was like, well, explain to me why this is so, like, what's so special about it? Like, why is it so popular? And they basically explained, they're like, well, it's a competitive online shooter that's generally fun, but because Nintendo is also terrified of online communities and toxicity, it's absolutely not toxic at all.
Exactly.
And they're like, then they're talking about, like, for 3 at least has really good, like, upgrade paths.
Yep.
And, like, progression systems, so it feels really good in that way. It's very addicting. The loop, so I was like, okay. The fact I'm like, I get it now. It's a simple game for people to just pick up and play an online game and not worry about being crappy or not, or being yelled at.
Yep.
Like, just get on, play, have fun, you'll do something.
And there's something super satisfying about just painting the floor.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my god, it's so fun. I remember playing with my daughter a couple years ago, right when the pandemic started, and she got so into it, in her, she was 3 at the time, that we just started painting. We laid down cardboard and got little paint rollers and started painting.
Nice.
Putting a timer, in 1 minute we started painting to see who had the most paint. So we quickly transitioned to a real life event. Yeah, the motion controls are what get me. Mainly, it might be different now because I play the Switch often connected to the TV now, whereas up until the pandemic I never did. So when you're tilting the motion controller to paint, you're moving your fucking screen. And it was just like, I can't play this. I can't do this. So I'd always drop off hard after like probably 10 hours. So
okay.
I don't know. I think I'll keep waiting and see if it keeps getting more and more accolades. Like, people really like it so far. I might jump in. But with Xenoblade, like, it's been a couple months now, or a month and a half or whatever. I've heard it enough times of it being like one of the best RPGs on Switch that I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna get it.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not gonna play for a while.
Yeah, I mean, that seems fine. I still am sitting on a few JRPGs that I haven't touched. Be that it's Bravely Default 2 and Shin Megami Tensei 5. That they're sitting there waiting for me to just be like, I have time now. I'm gonna do it.
And you also bought the I can't remember the fucking name of it. FE Sharp, fucking whatever it is.
Oh yeah, I played a chunk of that.
Yeah.
I should get back to that as well. I was having a decent time with it.
Mm-hmm.
But this Splatoon thing is the first Splatfest for Splatoon 3. What would you bring to a deserted island? Gear, grub, or fun?
I'm bringing grub. I need to eat.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at too. It was either that, it's either grub. Actually, it might be gear, so I could theoretically make stuff to eat longer.
Smart.
Because the grub is going to run out, I'm
Yep.
sure.
That's true.
So, I don't know. Not fun, though. Sorry. I'm on a deserted island.
Yep. I need to survive.
I was real excited about the next game.
Fae Farm?
No.
Oh, okay, God. Theatrhythm, final bar line.
Octopath Traveler 2.
Oh, shit. I skipped past it already. I'm sorry. I already moved past it. Oh, my God. Octopath Traveler 2 looks really good.
Got, like, same HD 2D art style before. I love the look of it. The characters look intriguing. World looks intriguing. And they put in the trailer the one thing that I truly cared about, which is intertwined character stories.
Yes.
And I was like, if you nail that, this is going to be... That was my only issue with the first game, really, was the fact that the character stories were really just their own story. They didn't really combine together. They didn't feel like that any of them connected in any way. But if they actually write it and intertwine them to make it feel like, all these stories matter together, oh my God, it's going to be great. I love the look of this game so much.
Well, and it looks amazing. That criticism is what kept me away from Octopath Traveler, the first one. And then after playing, I haven't finished it yet, but playing Live Alive and seeing those, it's just an anthology, and they are not connected. At least I think later in the game they do connect in some way. And Octopath Traveler trying to do that kind of thing, I get it finally. Like, I don't need it to connect. I think I would want to go back, but I'm much happier if they are connecting.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's where I just got used to it. It was always just a hope, because you didn't know when I was starting Octopath Traveler if they did or not. It was always just like, I hope they do. And they don't. And there's some of them are, I would say, are cool stories. Some of them aren't nearly as good. But I think just narrative would be stronger if, like, at least if some of them intertwined in each other's stories a little bit more.
Yep.
So they felt like, hey, these people matter to each other. But, man, the HD 2D look is so good. I love the look of these games. Always.
I agree, and every time I look at these games, I just keep thinking, okay, so if this one's done for you, are you working on Chrono Trigger in this style?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Please.
Oh, I would drop everything. Everything. Work, fucking family, everything to play that game in HD 2D. Oh, alas.
Yeah, and then the next one, next farming game, I do have to say with this, I know people working on this is Fae Farm. It's by Phoenix Labs.
Mm-hmm.
My good friend Carl works there. He's the VP of product. So he's in charge of this kind of stuff, of like the games being made. I know a dev that works directly on this game. I worked with them for a few years.
Can you remind me what Phoenix Labs does? It's the
Dauntless.
That's it. Thank you.
So this is their first game since Dauntless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little. And its main focus is, in the trailer even shows, is it's a farm sim, but it's meant to be a multiplayer farm sim from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was designed as a multiplayer game. So it's you and up to 3 other people building your farm, going adventuring, whole thing. Which could add a lot of fun to that, because like Stardew Valley added some multiplayer, but it's not really a multiplayer game.
It's like bolted on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, they're like, hey, well, we know you want to play with your friends, so you can have a shared farm, but mechanically it wasn't thought of as a multiplayer game to start, where this Fae Farm is thought of in that way.
I can see that being a lot of fun to like building something together.
Yes.
And coming back and seeing how it's grown, which would be good for someone like me who comes back like once a week and like, oh shit, things are happening. Great.
Yeah. And so that's what kind of excites me in this. And said I have friends making it, so I will check it out for sure.
And don't answer this question, but I'm just gonna rhetorically wondering how they feel in a Nintendo Direct that was full of like farm games.
I don't know.
Does that suck if your game is like similar to something? I mean, it got different hooks, like you said, but coming out of
it's hard to stand out. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Yeah.
That's unfortunate, I would think, even to them, but I think that just pushes them to be like, all right, so we need to push how we stand out more.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're special. I don't think this is gonna be Switch exclusive though.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I would at least expect PC as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's PC, I'll probably just play it on PC to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's also interesting because I mean, Dauntless is a free-to-play game, and I don't think this is going to be a free-to-play game. So
this might be the first premium game they've done.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say anything here, but
yeah,
I'm thinking that it's probably not free-to-play. I'm not seeing stuff in there that makes me go like, oh, this would be free-to-play.
So those mechanics that are like, oh, the bars or the cool
bars or like random loot chests.
Yeah.
Like that and then I don't think that's the type of game this is trying to be. It's cute though. I mean, I don't dislike the art style.
The art style looks awesome, I think.
Yeah.
It really does.
So yeah. Really happy for my friends there. It's cool.
Yeah.
And then we have Theatre Rhythm. Theatre Rhythm?
They said it was like Theater Rhythm. I was like, okay.
Theater Rhythm.
Okay. I was like, Theatre Rhythm. I've always said that.
I'm pretty... Like, I haven't played any of the previous ones. I do like me a good rhythm game.
Yeah.
And this has a lot of music that I really like.
Dude, a fucking ton. It's like base is like 385 games or songs or whatever.
Yep.
And then you could do the DLC to get up to like 550 or whatever. Wow. Like I'm looking at the gameplay right now and it's just like I see 4 like areas. What are those keyed to? Just like face buttons or what? I'm not sure what you're supposed to be hitting.
I don't know, because some of them have arrows in like diagonal directions and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if it's. Yeah, I haven't played any of these, so I don't know.
I can see if you. Chrono Trigger, dude, the DLC.
Yep.
Like fuck. Am I gonna buy one of these
music
games?
and a lot of just like. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of it's just a celebration of Square Enix music.
Yes,
Final Fantasies, other RPGs they've made, pretty much everything, and then like cute little characters from chibi characters from all the games. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'll probably get it.
Yeah, I feel similar with a similar sort of
not in a way like, oh, I'm so excited for this, but just like sigh, okay.
Yep.
Like
you got me. I'm probably getting this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it reminds me, this is very weird, but it reminds me of Korean karaoke where you've got like the song and then in the background there's just like sometimes related stuff and sometimes not. There's just like stuff happening in the background where you're attacking and whatever, but some of them like Final Fantasy X was just like scenes from Final Fantasy X.
Because you're just playing the music from 10.
Yeah.
So Here you go.
Do you think your wife would enjoy something like this?
I think somewhat. I mean, she used to like DDR a lot. We still have our PS2 DDR pad.
Damn.
Actually, Japanese PS2 DDR pad. And DDR. So I think there's some fun to that. She just doesn't. You have a kid. You understand. There's a limited time for your hobbies.
Oh, God.
And so gaming isn't usually the main choice for her.
Yeah.
Like, certain games every once in a while she'll be like, oh, I want to play a game. But, like, reading, sewing, those kind of hobbies are, like, rise to the top before games, usually. So...
Reading, sewing.
I don't know. I think she would find it kind of. Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
You know, it's the color of her. Amber is the color of her energy. So.
Oh my god, I hate that song like so much.
Well.
hate, really hate. Yeah. Just sorry, that just derailed everything I was going to say. Just the hate that rose up.
Flash of red across your eyes.
Seriously. Which matches the color of the character in the next game, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which is coming out soon, next month, October 23rd or 25th.
Blast off on an adventure,
talked about this last
wondrous
time
worlds.
The Ubisoft forward. This game looks fucking rad. And
it does.
I'm very excited. Not much new in this that I didn't know about before, so it's fine. Rune Factory 3. Never played a Rune Factory, but back to that same kind of.
Yeah, I mean, Rune Factory was a spin-off of Harvest Moon. Yeah. That was like, here, have Harvest Moon, but what if you fought monsters? And I think 3 is the one where you transform into monsters.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're weird games.
Yeah.
But they're for the farm sim people that want more combat, basically.
Right. Different flavors of farm games here. Following that was the thing that popped the most for me besides Fire Emblem, oddly enough. It's the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Talked about the games they're adding: Pilot Wings, 1080 snowboarding, Pokemon Stadium, Site by 64, a bunch of Mario parties, which is gonna be rage-inducing. But then fucking GoldenEye.
Finally.
Fucking GoldenEye.
It's happening.
Oh my god. I know I'm gonna play it once and be like, nope. But
yeah, pretty much.
Boy, I have such nostalgia, so many good memories of that game playing with you guys.
Yeah.
Screen cheating off my ass off. Oh my god.
Slappers.
Yes, absolutely. God.
One-hit kill slappers go.
Mm-hmm. Golden Gun mode. Oh my god. Fuck. I'm very excited for something I know I'm gonna play just for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing about it. I'm like, I know now that it doesn't hold up. Yes. It is purely a nostalgia game of being like, it was doing something that other games hadn't done before, and that's the best we had at the time, and that was good enough. But man, have console FPS controls moved forward a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
don't even know how that controls right now.
Exactly. And I was thinking the same thing for Mario Party. How, like, you would just put that stick in your palm and just rub your palm raw. Like, what am I supposed to do now? What am I doing for that?
Break your Joy-Cons.
Oh my, even
basically.
More than, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, we're not playing Mario Party with my new SNES Joy-Con. No fucking way. No one touches us. The next one was the worst named game ever, and I just don't get how Square Enix continues to name things shittily. Various Daylife. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't even know.
Oh my god, it's fucking random name generator nonsense. I think this.
I mean, it's a life sim. This isn't a farm sim. It's a life sim, where, as far as I can tell, like, you getting like your weapons and classes and jobs and the whole thing come from you doing stuff in your life sim to go out adventuring.
Yeah.
I think, does it? Oh, it's available now.
I think
it launched.
Yeah, I think it launched. Because I thought it was a demo originally, then I realized, no, it's actually the game's out.
Okay, let's see. What's the Metacritic on it? Whoa. Why aren't there any reviews?
Probably because no one's reviewed it yet.
Jesus.
They just, like, shadow dropped it. Like, here, we've been working on this a little bit. We're done with it. Here.
It's also on Steam. It has only 31 reviews on Steam. And it's mixed.
It's kind of what happens when you don't, like, market something. Like, and it has a shitty goddamn name.
They just dropped it.
Yep.
Which probably is a thing that means that it's not high on there.
Yes.
They just like, yeah, we're just cutting our losses on this game, just putting it out because it's a game, but we don't actually have huge belief behind it that it's gonna be a breakout hit or anything.
We have some folks who've been cutting their teeth on making games, and this is what they've made, which is cool. Boy.
All the Steam reviews, like, it's 45% positive right now, but all the reviews they're saying, like, some people are like, it's 6 out of 10. They're like, it's just really grindy, is what everyone's saying. Like, real grindy.
Ugh. Grindy for a game that's maybe not that enjoyable is not really a great game for me.
So
Factorio was next. That's on other systems, and this is
it's been on PC for a long time.
Yeah, people love it.
I feel like this is like the art and everything. I think this is not just a port.
Oh, you think this is built from the ground up for Switch?
Yeah, kind of looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like the PC version to me. No, not at all. I'm looking at the trailer. Mm-hmm. Like, it's reminiscent of the PC version, but its art is a little bit different. So, yeah, I think this might be something a little bit adapted for the Switch rather than just a straight port.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the Steam trailer right now. Like, oh, maybe not. Maybe it's the same thing. Or maybe I haven't looked at Factorio since it was, like, actually released, and only when it was in early access. Yeah. That actually is very possible. I guess on the PC, yeah, like, the close-in shots look the same. the people at work that were playing it are just super zoomed out all the time. So
they've maximalized their game.
Yeah, they're like, no, I got to be as far back as I possibly can to manage my giant systems.
Planet or whatever, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Next one was Ib, which God, it looks a little freaky to me for some reason. I'm not sure why it's unsettling, but it is.
It has a little bit of an unsettling pixel art style.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. It's honestly, it reminds me of like early stuff I've seen on like early Personas in some ways.
That's a good call.
But then with even creepier art sometimes. So I don't know. Maybe eventually I might give that little indie game a shot.
Yeah, I'd love to see reviews. Some people were excited about it, so I'm curious to see how that comes up. Mario Strikers Battle League, I was excited to see another female character. My daughter loves Pauline, so as soon as Pauline is available, so it's Pauline and Diddy Kong is being released for Mario Strikers Battle League. And I believe there's one more set of 2, and if Toadette is not one of the 2, my daughter is gonna fucking flip a table. She needs Toadette. This game is mechanically very fun, very good. My wife and I and my daughter play together, probably once every 2 weeks or so. Yep. We play, probably half an hour. It's fun. Suffers from the Nintendo Sports thing where it's just like, there's no real single-player content, so it's just like the multiplayer only. And it's it's more than competent. It's actually pretty good. But I don't know. It's hard. It's more like a $40 release. Like there's not a lot to it besides that multiplayer.
Sure.
But I dropped 60 on it because I'm an idiot. But we're having fun, so it's good.
Yeah.
Do you know the next game series?
I know the series, the Atelier series. I've never played any of them.
Yeah.
They're very popular in Japan. But it's kind of JRPG, a little bit farm simmy kind of stuff. Not completely, because it's not really a farm sim, but it has like slice of life elements to it. I know that. I don't know. This is not high on my list of JRPGs to play, but it could be cool. Like this is a long-running series. Not Atelier Ryza is the latest one, but there has been a long line of Atelier games that are different under different names. I'm trying to see Atelier. It's started in 1997.
Oh dang! It's been around
Atelier Marie was the first one. The Alchemist of Salberg, and it was a Dreamcast and then game first, and it came to PS2 later. Because of course, the Dreamcast died. So
yes, exactly. Everything came from the Dreamcast.
They wanted to salvage that.
Ported something quick.
But let's see how many. There's been 24 mainline games in the series.
Good lord, that's for someone then.
And it's mostly been like originally. Up until the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were Japan only.
Yeah.
And then they started going worldwide.
Damn.
So I don't know. Oh, and there's been side games too, and a bunch of remake. It's a franchise. It's a Japanese franchise. It has a fan base. It has its niche JRPG style JRPG game. Yeah. But maybe one day I'll try it just to be like, well, what is this? Why is it so popular? Like, why has it been around for 25 years? Clearly, there's something there that people like.
Yeah, something in the bones that is drawing people in over and over again.
Yeah. I bet you're excited for the next stuff.
I am. I was disappointed that it's a holiday release, but I guess holidays are... fuck, that's still so far away. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pack Wave 3. Got Merry Mountain, have Peach Gardens. But Merry Mountain is the one that's on... tour right now, and Peach Gardens is from DS, and then the 2 other ones I'm blanking on, but they're probably awesome. One is like a Christmas themed one, has like Santa flying through it, but I can't remember the names of it. But yes, very excited. Every time these come out, we play. My daughter, my wife, and I play them when they come out a couple times, and then we play them a couple times throughout until the next ones come out. It's nice to have new Mario Kart courses. I'm playing them all. And it got me to do the expansion pack. This is what sold me on that, so it's smart of them. Next, Nintendo Switch Sports. Golf is still coming out, but it's been delayed into next year. And then, dude, fuck, Miyamoto shows up, and I just like, we're getting Mario, we're getting what the fuck, Pikmin Bloom?
We're getting Mario, we're getting some Zelda or something, and like, no,
God.
Pikmin 4.
And I know it's for someone. I'm excited for that person.
Yeah, there's one person in my work that was like thrilled about this thing, and I was like, I never got into Pikmin. I've never been into Pikmin, but
and Miyamoto comes out, and it's like Pikmin Bloom, talking about an AR game that's been out for like months, and then Pikmin 4, and then that's it. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I thought it was Mario for sure. I was so excited. And whatever, Pikmin's fine. That's not a game for me, and I'm probably not gonna pick it up, but whatever. It's for someone.
Next game, not for me. Just Dance 2023.
No.
A game I want to try the demo for after that, Harvestella, which is out now.
Wait, it's out now?
There's a demo out for it.
Oh, demo's out now. Yeah, okay.
So I can play a demo of it, and Square Enix decided to have a farm sim. But this is basically Final Fantasy, the farm sim.
Yes, exactly.
Because you do. I don't know. I read the description of it. I'm like, God, this is such a Final Fantasy game. Like, fight the quietest, the calamity. So you're gonna farm to eventually fight God, basically.
Perfect. I'm gonna fight him with my turnips, or fight her.
Yeah,
with my turnips.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. But it's so true that like they're just. I'm like, I read it, I was just like, yep, it's Final Fantasy, just with some farming.
Why are we always fighting God in these games? God damn it.
This is JRPG. That's what you do.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of fighting God, Bayonetta 3. Trailer. And they actually said, like, we have another trailer. Go check out our YouTube because it's rated M and we can't show it here.
But here. I didn't go check it out. I should have.
I didn't either, but yeah, I probably should have as well.
But Bayonetta, it's coming.
It is. Next
I don't know how it's going to... I have no clue how it's going to perform on the Switch. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully they've just taken a lot of time knowing that they're targeting the Switch hardware to figure this out.
Yeah, it was announced like 2017, I thought.
Yeah, and they've just spent all that time making it run well.
Yep. Right, we finished this game in 2019, but we've been optimizing it since then.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We were waiting for the Switch Pro that never came, so fuck it. We just set it out. It's not going to sell a ton, but it's probably going to sell more than Bayonetta 2, which sold more than Bayonetta 1.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's how it goes. I don't understand the next one.
Neither do I.
Okay.
We can move. I just don't know.
Yep.
Like
Master Detective Archives Raincoat, another random name generator.
I think it's like a visual novel more than anything.
Oh, you know
That's what it looks
Actually,
like.
this is the Danganronpa. This is Spike Chunsoft. So this is probably going to be good. But the name, man, I'm just like, what?
Raincoat.
Yes, I don't get it. But yes, is that Monokuna was the name of the fucking bear? I don't know if you played Danganronpa, but
I did not.
Creepy murder game in fucking high school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was well written. After that, we're streaming Resident Evil.
Of course. Sure.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Great.
Gotta stream some stuff because. And then Sifu is coming.
In November. To Nintendo Switch.
Unreal 4 as well. I think it's Unreal. It is Unreal Engine 4. Good luck. I'm sure it's gonna run great.
Oh boy.
Its art style is simpler, so they might have a better chance in that. But I just all I've heard from people playing this game is it's hard as hell.
Yeah,
like
that's all I hear.
Really, really fucking hard.
Excuse me. Yep, that's why I keep avoiding it.
Yep, pretty much, and I will continue to avoid it.
I'm glad you all like it though.
Then we had a trailer for Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion.
I'm surprised. I guess maybe I just didn't remember that it was coming to Switch. Was this a new?
It was announced. Okay. It was when they announced it said that it was also coming to Switch.
Because like this one is.
But it's coming for everything else, so I probably would prefer to play this on like PS5.
Yes, definitely. But like this is coming to Switch, but like Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't.
No.
Obviously. I don't know. They do their thing.
Yes, they do.
I'm glad that people on Switch can play this, but I'm going to play it somewhere else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
Jesus, how many games are there?
I'm just going through ton. I told you.
I'm just like, holy crap.
Told you.
The thing is there's not as much in like Sony's.
Yes, that's true. Radiant Silvergun, which was a
shmup.
Yeah, shmup. But what console was on? Was it Dreamcast? Was it something else? What the fuck was it on? But it looks like a pretty cool shmup.
It looks very shmuppy.
Yep. I'm like, oh, it looks like Gradius. Not Gradius. What the fuck's that one? I'm forgetting the name of it.
Ikaruga?
Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you. Nice.
Wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to Radiant Silvergun and I was like, okay, who? Developer's Treasure. But I was looking on the wiki and it said composer Hitoshi Sakamoto, who was the composer for Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 12, A Vagrant Story, all the Matsuno games.
Oh,
damn. This was originally an arcade game. It came out on the Saturn in 98.
Yeah, baby.
And arcade in 98 as well.
And that's out now, I think.
Yeah. Weird. That must have been before he went to work at Enix and stuff with the Matsuno team doing like Tactics Ogre and things. Crazy. All right, that's a weird connection. But yeah, I don't particularly like shmups, so I won't be playing it.
Okay. I like the idea of shmups. I always like that they're there for that one day when I want to play them, but I never actually get to that day. But people like them. Endless Dungeon.
It's been out for a long time.
Yeah, I remember that being elsewhere.
It's just a roguelike. I don't think... I might even own it. I just may never have... On Steam, and I just have never played it.
Isometric kind of thing.
Isometric, like roguelike, and it can be multiplayer. Oh, wait, Endless Dungeon... No, this isn't the one. Maybe this is a new one. What the hell is it?
Same name?
It's an Amplitude game. I'm seeing what they've made. I want to go back through their games. No, because the one I was thinking of is Dungeon of the Endless.
Oh.
I think this is a sequel to Dungeon of the... Is it? I don't know.
Like
their naming sucks. I hate
just
their
like
naming.
what was it last week?
No, it is. It's a sequel.
Wow, what the fuck was
Because Dungeon of the Endless is Dungeon of the Endless is a roguelike dungeon defense game. And this Endless Dungeon is a roguelike as well. So it's just a sequel.
It's like the game last week. They just added the to the beginning of it.
Oh yeah.
I can see the fucking
something of Fallen.
Oh, Lords of the Fallen. The Lords of the Fallen.
Lords of the Fallen. No, it's the Lords.
Of the Fallen. That's the sequel. Like, are you fucking kidding me? God, just hire me to name your shit. God damn it. We had a sizzle reel with a couple things: Life is Strange, Romancing Saga, Lego Brick Tales, Disney, like Mario Kart, and then Fall Guys Season 2, and then we got Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe remaster from I think it was was it a SNES game?
I think so.
Or a Wii game? I can't remember. But yeah, Kirby, man, always fighting that tree. Fuck.
Yeah.
Leave the trees alone, man. Oh, that's cool. I don't know.
Yep.
Kirby.
And then they came back with we have one more thing.
Oh my god. They had one more thing, and it was Legend of Zelda, and then people were like, Tears of the Kingdom? Tears of the Kingdom?
No, Tears. Anyone saying Tears, I'm like, oh, come on. It's in the sky. Things are falling from the sky. Like, come on now. But yes, localization is hard sometimes.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
it doesn't show a lot. I mean, we got a release date. It's next year in May.
The first 40 seconds were like tapestries, murals and shit, and then we just get like full-on Skyward Sword
jumping out of the sky.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Although like this crazy new like glider thing.
Oh my god!
Like
I know.
airship, glider. I don't know what the hell it is.
You got Link climbing. You got Link falling.
Yeah.
You got Link gliding.
Yeah, but they really aren't showing a whole lot.
No.
Which is fine.
Right. I don't need.
Because I'm very curious. I'm sure development of this started shortly after. Well, it did start in 2017 because this build came out of a DLC that they originally were planning for Breath of the Wild, and they just was like, no, we're just gonna grow this to its own thing. So the one thing they don't have to do is completely rebuild the world. They can tweak the world, and they're adding to it with some stuff in the sky, and there's all the rumors of underground. So I'm like, what does 5 years with this engine and tools, what do they make? Like, that's what's exciting to me, is
feels like
what does this team do in 5 years?
It feels like what they did was they went vertical. Like, they've left.
Well, I mean, they definitely went vertical.
You know?
But I'm wondering if there's other, like, what mechanics are in the game now.
Yeah.
Like, so much of the original game is shown of them experimenting with the open world and some mechanics for the open world. But now I'm like, okay, you've had 5 years. You've solved a number of problems. You're not having to resolve those. You don't have to build the tools to make this world anymore. You have a template that you're building the world from now, even.
Right.
What's 5 years? Get them. Like, I'm really curious as a developer. I'm just, by mind, I'm like, what does this game look like? How does it play, and how does it expand on Breath of the Wild, basically, mechanically and thematically?
Right.
But I'm excited. Like,
oh yeah,
cool. We know it's in May. I don't know if it will hit May.
I fucking doubt it so much. I'm like, this is gonna be a November game next year. It's not coming out in fucking May.
Yeah. We'll get a direct sometime in March next year, where they'll be like, sorry to say, we need more time.
Yeah, exactly. Aonuma.
Yep.
It's just him in front of like a gray screen. Sorry to say. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was the direct. I thought it was pretty good. Like you said, something in there for everybody.
Yep.
It was a lot of games, though. They really did show a ton. And a ton, weirdly, though, a lot of it's not coming out this year.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, there's a ton of games coming out in 22 that are not first party. They've got a decent lineup, but nothing. I just feel like there's not a lot of heavy hitters for the fall. There's just a lot of good games, which is fine. That's great.
A lot of heavy hitters for like Q1 2023.
Yeah.
A lot.
Starting off with Fire Emblem, starting with a bang.
Yeah.
We've got Pikmin next year. We've got Breath of the Wild next year, or not Breath of the Wild, I guess. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I was surprised not to see like one more like surprising first party game. Like, and I'm sure that was what Pikmin 4 was, but that's just not for me. So I'll just say it was there. It wasn't one that I cared about.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Well, that was in the morning. Actually, I didn't watch it live.
Yeah.
I watched it. I was sleeping and or showering or wherever I was. I think it was at 7 a.m. Pacific. So I watched it a little later. But then we got Sony later that day.
Right.
And they're like, hey, here's a state of play. And they opened with Tekken 8.
Which looks just gorgeous.
It does look gorgeous.
Oh my god. Like, I don't know if it's did they say it was Unreal 5?
I don't know if they actually said what engine it is. Hard to say, honestly. The trailer doesn't give an engine.
Okay.
It just says it's PS5.
I really like the idea of a fighting game like this, and Smash Brothers has done this to some extent, but like the background is so alive. There's so much shit happening in the background, like it just makes it look really vibrant, as opposed to like the old fighting games where it's just like a market stall or whatever from Street Fighter or whatever. This is like there's shit happening back there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This looks
cool. It is Unreal Engine 5.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep. Scratch built in Unreal Engine 5.
Very cool.
But it was a way to open. I'm not the biggest fighting game person, so
it
doesn't do a whole lot for me. But like I said, it looks really pretty.
Yep.
Then we get some PSVR 2 stuff, which I'm like, sure.
The Star Wars game is on like Quest, I think.
This is the enhanced version, because it doesn't look that great on Quest, I'll be honest.
That's what I heard, but I heard someone had said on a podcast they played it on Quest and they actually had a demo of this on PSVR 2, and they're like, it looks way, way better.
Oh, I'm sure.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I have to get a PSVR 2, and I don't think I'm doing that. So
yeah, that's true. I'm just not a big Star Wars fan, so it doesn't do anything for me. The other one, Demio. You remember me doing? It was like 2019, 2018, probably 2019 podcast. Table of Tales. The PSVR 1 kind of D&D game that looks very similar to this, where you're playing like this dungeon crawling. You have like miniatures and you have cards to play. And you're going through this dungeon. Like it's just D&D. I don't know, sort of like D&D.
Yeah,
esque, exactly. So I was sort of bummed when I heard this weekend that like PSVR 1 games won't be backwards compatible on PSVR 2, simply because of that game, because I want to play that game specifically in higher fidelity so I can read the fucking cards. But then there's this. I'm like, oh, that's basically it. So great. Okay, so this is the kind of experience that I really want on a VR game, where you're like in there, kind of seeing your miniatures moving around. I don't know, it just feels fun. So I'm excited about that. I probably will. I'm that fucking idiot who probably will buy a PSVR 2. But there's not a lot of games right now that make me think I want to buy it on launch. But maybe there's more. I mean, if it's Astrobot Rescue Mission 2 or whatever, I'm there.
Yeah, so. I think that's the thing. I'm just not sold yet on it. I need to see more. Especially with that, where they're saying the PSVR 1 games aren't compatible. So you don't have a pre-built library. So you need to show me the killer apps, and they haven't really done that yet.
They have not. Nope.
Yeah. Next, when this trailer started, I was like, this looks like a Yakuza game. But this is feudal Japan. That's not right. But it is. Like a Dragon Ishin. Now knowing out from Tokyo Game Show, Yakuza has changed the brand to be Like a Dragon. Now, like, they're not going to use Yakuza anymore. Probably so they can do games like this, because Yakuza Ishin less relevant because there was not Yakuza in feudal Japan. So this lets them be Like a Dragon and have spin-offs to their heart's content. Anywhere they want it.
And it's interesting because Yakuza Like a Dragon was such a hit, the turn-based thing, and this is using that name, the first one that's using that name, and it's not that at all.
No, this is a game that they talked about that's just never been outside of Japan. Like, it's already been released.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
PS5 version. I don't know if it was a PS4 game originally. But this is like a PS5 updated version but it's never been out of Japan. Like, so this has existed for a while.
No wonder it's coming out so soon. It's February next year.
Yeah. But we'll get to the TGS stuff. There's other now Like a Dragon games coming. They announced in the State of Play, they announced this one, but there's 2 more coming. Honestly, this one intrigues me more than the Yakuza games generally, because I like the setting of feudal Japan.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the gameplay is there.
I feel like Ghost of Tsushima like cracked something open. There's I guess Assassin's Creed going to that era.
Yeah.
Yep. As far as I understand the era. So that's exciting. To see more things there, because I definitely want more Ghost, which means I'll probably be very excited for Ghost 2 whenever that's announced.
I assume that's going to be announced sometime in the next year, probably.
The next showcase for sure. This was a State of Play, so we're not going to get those huge heavy hitters for the most part, more than one. Next one was Hogwarts Legacy, and there's
like DLC, or
it's the PlayStation exclusive Haunted Hogsmeade shop quest.
It's a quest specific to PlayStation. All right,
exactly right. So I am going to wait for reviews. I've obviously been cool on this game, but I don't know if it's good. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out.
It provides a neat fantasy. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Well, right now
the magic wizard world type, just getting to create your own character in that world. That's a pretty strong like player fantasy.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's
if they can nail the mechanics and make it generally kind of a fun game to play overall.
That's why I'm curious about the reviews. My daughter's so into, like, we watched something on Disney Plus. It was like Upside Down Magic is what it was called. And then she really wanted the books, so we got the books on Audible, and we're going through all the books, and she's just in love. And I was like, boy, all of these things are like derivative of Harry Potter, which was derivative of other things.
Sure.
But like I keep circling back to like wanting to read those with her. and I still haven't done it yet.
Sure,
for
I get it.
many reasons.
I think I'd even with her wait a little bit on those.
Yeah, there's still time for sure. They're not.
Yeah, and they're definitely ready. Even if you're like, okay, I want to do this. Well, I'm trying to think when we started with our kids, they were a little bit older than your daughter. Well, like we kind of matched it to what Harry's age was.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll read Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah. When
our daughter was that age. And then we got through the other ones faster than she aged, but it felt age appropriate at that point. She wasn't really scared of anything. Right. So
yeah, the Mistwick, I keep talking about the Mistwick School of Musicraft books that are really like that, and much older than, they're like books for 10-year-olds, and she just loves them. The new one came out and we just finished reading that one. Twice actually. We've read that one twice now. And that's, there are so many derivative, books that do the Harry Potter thing, but like sometimes even better for like what we want, which is like a female protagonist and like being more thoughtful about the relationships and the characters. But I don't know. There's still something about going back to that. I might do eventually, but you're right. Much later. Pacific Drive came out, and this is Ironwood, and I forget who Ironwood was.
They're new.
But is there anyone there that we know?
Yeah, I looked at they're from a
Factors.
A variety of devs up here, Ironwood Studios. Because I looked, I was like, who are you people? Because they're in Seattle. Which I was like, you have to be from Seattle if you're doing a game called Pacific Drive.
Yep.
And this looks like Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, set in Pacific Northwest, yeah.
Our team, there we go. The founder and creative director, where'd they come from? Worked on PlanetSide 2 back in the day, and then Infamous at Sucker Punch. So had been at Sucker Punch for a while, I bet. And did various VR projects. They went to Oculus, and then they left Oculus. Left the VR money that they probably got there to make this studio.
Yeah. Do you play as the car in this game?
No, you play as a person.
Okay.
But the car is very much a character.
Got it.
Like, getting out of the car is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous, as far as I can tell. And they want to make, like, keeping the car running, upgrading the car is, like, the main thing that you're doing. Okay. So it's driving survival.
Yeah, none of those things you just said make me very excited. But, cool.
Yeah.
Different game. The next thing, I swear to God, this PlayStation Stars thing was like them saying, how do we do NFTs? And then
without
NFTs went to shit, and they're like, fuck, we already built the infrastructure for this, but...
It's not NFTs, though.
I know it's not.
Not even at all. It doesn't even use blockchain, so it can't even be an NFT. It's literally just like, here... have a 3D model.
What I'm saying is that, like, were they thinking about doing that, and they're like, fucking hard right turn, we're just going to do the fucking models. Here you go.
Maybe. I mean, it's the same thing that you would have gotten with an NFT.
Yes, exactly. Right.
It's nothing.
No difference.
No difference.
Oh, but it's one of a kind. Shut up. No, it's not.
Yeah, yours might, but whatever. It just sits in the same goddamn database that everything else, like your trophies, sit in. It's cute. I don't know why it matters. You learn them the same way you earn trophies, probably, and that's cool. So you can go look at your little figures now.
They were like, Astro's Playroom had really cool PlayStation collectibles, so let's do that.
Yeah,
system-wide.
Basically.
Which is fine. I love those collectibles in that game.
So that's all it is. And you're right. It could have been NFTs. Maybe at one point it was. Who knows? But
not now.
They basically did a good job not ever calling them NFTs or saying they were using any of that stuff, so they could easily be like, what are you talking about?
Nope.
It's not. What are you talking about? It's just the thing
not
you
NFTs.
get.
Nope, you're crazy. Yep. No way. Fuck that. What do you think we are, Square?
Yeah.
Synduality, sci-fi third-person mech shooter. Do those words do things for you?
I mean, the mech shooter part could be cool. I don't know. I mean, anytime you say it's like going to be a third-person shooter thing, I'm going to have to wait to see.
Yeah.
Like, how does this actually play? It looks a little slow, a little cumbersome because you're a mech, but I don't know. I'm watching the trailer a bit more to see it again. I'm like, it could be neat. Honestly, combat reminds me weirdly of Mass Effect.
Like the original?
No, 2.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like that 2. Like, although you don't really have cover. Although there is kind of mech cover. So it's like that and Gears of War, but you're in a mech instead.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's easy to say that. I mean, that's your standard third-person shooter type stuff. But do they pull off the feel of it well? I don't know. Yeah. You have to wait. I have to wait and see. Maybe there'll be a demo at some point of it.
Yeah. Next year.
Yep.
Next one was Stellar Blade, which used to be called Project Eve, which is a name I remember, but I don't know much about.
No, neither do I. And I was like, Parasite Eve? No. No.
It was announced in 2019. I don't remember that, but boy, between announcement and drop, that's a long.
That is a long time.
Yep. It's a Korean game.
Did it have the leather, like shiny leather pants on female? Is that the game?
Yes, that is it. And then like cutouts.
Yep.
So, like you got the ass and the tits.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
So I pre-ordered. I'm just kidding.
You're like, boom, right there.
Yeah, it reminds you of Bayonetta a little bit in terms of like the hair making the clothes and whatever else.
Yeah.
Very skin tight clothes. Rise of Ronin.
Rise of the Ronin, which this is one I was like, another Ghost of Tsushima inspired game. Yeah. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima didn't. Actually, this one, the way the combat goes and stuff, made me think it's very Assassin's Creed like.
Yeah, even with the bird.
Yeah.
This is. Fuck, isn't it Team Ninja doing this one, or am I making?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
it's Team Ninja.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard as hell.
Yeah, they did Neo before.
They did.
Ghost came out, so.
Yep.
Yeah, they get to own it. Looks cool though.
They do. Yeah.
2024, so we wait a while.
Yeah. And then they wrapped up some God of War stuff. And you're excited, but I was like, really? This is what you're showing at the end of this?
Yeah, well, they showed
before they showed a trailer.
Okay, yeah,
I thought they were ending it with
on a fucking
here's
controller.
A controller.
That'd be a shitty ending. And one more thing, here's a two-tone controller, blue and white.
Controller. And I'm sure for you're like, yes, give me that blue controller.
I fucking want that controller. It looks great.
It does look very nice.
The only thing about it is I was planning to buy the Pro controller, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I need two controllers? Fuck, I just bought a purple one.
Why not? I mean, can you ever have too many controllers? Really?
Yeah, probably. I have 3 right now.
Have you hit that limit?
No, I probably have not. Well, I might sell my. No, I won't. I probably won't do that. This controller looks cool, though. I'm probably gonna get it.
Yeah.
Because the game's gonna be rad. I watched a little bit of the trailer and I was like, nope, don't need this.
Yeah, it's a very story-heavy trailer.
Yes, exactly. Like I don't need to know any of this. I guess. I haven't listened to it. I've only watched it, and I heard that Toby from West Wing is in it. So okay. I don't know who the fuck he's playing, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They just keep showing it. I'm like, the game looks really good. Like, the next God of War. So at this point, I'm like, okay, you can. It's coming out soon. I don't know what else you have to show for it.
Exactly.
Just it's coming.
It's
gonna be a hit. It'll be fine.
Yes. It's gonna be their biggest game of the year. You finished watching a playthrough of this game, right? Or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Great. I like that they're sticking with the single cut. In this game.
I feel like that they need to do that. Like that's for at least this new God of War style franchise that they're going with. That is, I think, a key part of the feel of the game. Yeah. Like, if they decided to break that, I think it would make the game feel very different.
Yeah.
But
it's like
it's kind
of
crazy that it's a camera thing that defines the game so much, but it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a part of the game, there's part of this new story trailer. It's like fucking on like in space on the moon or some shit, and I was like, how do you single cut get there? Like, whoa, this story's got to be fucking insane.
Yeah.
But man, it looks fucking good.
It does.
God, there's like, yeah. Whoop. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. There's more mechanics and stuff I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep.
I will definitely be getting that game. So that was 2 of the 3 things that happened this week.
And that was on Tuesday, I think.
Right. It was all Tuesday. And then TGS happened this week.
Yeah, and that started on Thursday.
Right.
And really, a lot of these, I definitely feel like the State of Play and the Direct were done because TGS was coming, and they wanted to get out ahead of people showing stuff at TGS.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff in that Direct and the State of Play were actually shown and hands-on at TGS. Square had like a big event for TGS, and like they had a lot of games like you could play them. They brought press through. I've seen people online talking about it. So that's where a lot of this stuff is. But there was a couple more things. This article, like Tekken 8, there was interviews with Tekken 8, people like hey, this is like a big turning point of the series. In some ways similar to like Street Fighter 4 was a big turning point for Street Fighter. That was the one that went full 3D. Tekken's always been 3D, but I kind of feel like it's the same way. It's like, oh, we need to take a step back and like rethink how we're making these games for the future. Speaking of Street Fighter 6, they
got the whole
showed off
roster.
The whole roster, 18 characters.
Yep. I'm gonna read them real quick. I think it's Ryu, Chun-Li, Luke, Jamie, Guile, Juri, Kimberly. I think Kimberly's new. Ken, E Honda, Blanca, Dalsim, Manon, don't know who that is, Marissa, Lily, JP, DJ, Cammy, and Zangief.
Yep.
I'm very, they basically got the original 8 in there, which makes people feel happy. Makes me happy. And then some of the new ones look pretty cool.
And they showed off, custom character creator.
Which I think that's
World
so
Tour.
badass, man. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
And there'll be a closed beta in October with details on how to sign up coming soon. So.
Yeah.
Some stuff from Resident Evil 8. We'll get some DLC. I don't care. I'm not playing it.
Nope.
But it's DLC for that. And this is where the Yakuza brand rebranding happened. It's now just Like a Dragon, and so Yakuza 8 is now Like a Dragon 8, which I guess when they ever called it Yakuza 7, it was Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon, exactly.
Was 7.
Yep.
And Like a Dragon 8 is still going to be turn-based, but then the Ishii thing that we talked about is not turn-based, and it sounds like the spin-off that they're doing won't be turn-based either. And through interviews, they've confirmed that the series isn't committed to turn-based. It just depends on the story and the characters for what they want to tell and what works best for the game. So they're just trying to keep the brand pretty open, I think, at this point, because it's only gotten more popular with each release, especially worldwide.
Right.
So I think the rebranding is purely just be like, okay, this isn't a little niche series anymore. This has actually got some buzz behind it. Let's rethink our strategy here on what we're doing for the future.
That's great. And I have Like a Dragon on like one of the first titles on my PS5 because I really want to get to it because the story is so good from so many people. But I'm so surprised that they didn't do turn-based quickly afterwards. It seemed like such a hit, but I think it was a hit because of the story more than the turn-based.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters. Were announced, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, I never played these. They are PS1 RPGs. Never played them back in the day.
That people who love them cannot shut up about.
My good friend in college, Patrick, who you've met.
Yeah.
He loved these games.
Yep.
Like he was the first person I ever knew that even talked about them, and it was like he had them in college and he had the PS1 discs and stuff and would play it all the time. It's like great.
Huge cast of characters, like stories that matter, choices that you make matter, kind of thing.
Yeah. But it's gonna be on Switch, so all right.
That's
sold.
the place to play.
Like, this is where I want it.
Exactly.
Next year. So, still got to wait a little bit. But, it was unexpected. It was just like, here, we'll just announced this during like Konami had a presentation. So crazy, and yeah, worth it. Like those are ones that people talk about still to this day. And maybe if it does well enough, they'll continue the franchise. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Konami has a few things. I think they're doing a fairly decent job of bringing out some of their old stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully it gives them some momentum moving forward.
When's the last one? Suikoden 5 was on the PS2 in 2006.
Dang, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was in Ukraine then. Holy shit.
There's a spin-off. Oh, that's PS. No, yeah, there was very little. There's a couple spin-off series stuff, but no, like it just kind of stopped in 2006. So if it does well, I mean, like, why would Konami not try to do more with it if people want it?
Yep.
Let's see. I don't really care about the Quantic Dream thing right now. It was not David Cage talking about it though, so the Star Wars Eclipse thing.
Smart.
Yeah, it was the CEO. I can't say his name. It's very French.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna butcher it if I try. But David Cage is not the CEO. I didn't know that. So that Capcom did more. They showed some more stuff from Monster Hunter Rise, newer monsters, and actually like layered transmog weapons now as well, as opposed to just transmog for your gear, your armor. I mean, that's kind of what the end game of Monster Hunter is just to look really fancy. Oh, yeah. Fashion hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else? Anything else on the end here that's interesting to you?
Not for me, no. Some stuff for other people, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, Game Pass. Deathloop is coming to Game Pass this week. They announced that. There.
Yep.
There's a Horizon. Like Microsoft had a bunch of stuff. They're like, yep, this is coming to Game Pass. Forza Horizon 5 update coming. BlazBlue, Cross Tag Battle, and Guilty Gear Strive are both coming to Game Pass. A Ni no Kuni sequel is coming as well. I saw another big list. There's a bunch of Japanese developer games coming to Game Pass. Microsoft spending that money, continuing to spend that money.
Dude, Game Pass is...
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop me from buying other games. Clearly.
No.
Even though I shouldn't, because there's so much to play there. I thought the Ni no
the
Kuni...
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is coming to Game Pass.
Oh, really? God, another reason to play that game again.
Yeah, that was one that's they announced at TGS. I'm like,
they're just like, hey, Japanese people, we still exist.
I guess so.
We're a good deal for gaming. You just gotta buy a big box. No, you can just stream it, cloud stream it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So many games. Danganronpa V3 Game Pass. Strive, BlazBlue. Those are all the ones I said. I'm just saying if there's anything else showing up on there. No, that's the main ones. So they're like, look we have Japanese developed games coming to Game Pass. Enjoy.
Yep. Here for you. So yeah, shit. There we go. Nintendo, Sony, TGS. So much news after a drought of news. I think this felt like E3.
Yeah. And then there was a big piece of news today.
The fuck was the news today? Oh god, the fucking leak.
GTA 6.
Holy shit.
Fucking stolen. Like,
right?
The guy is basically extorting them, because I saw the thing where he was like, I'm gonna, like, the person that hacked him and took all the data is like, oh, this blew up, made a post, I can't remember where it was posted, gonna get in contact with Rockstar to talk about the other things that I have. This is only a small amount.
Oh my.
Probably has source code.
God.
Honestly. Like huge just builds of whatever they were in development. But yeah, I mean, GTA 6, it's in development. It's set in Vice City. It's still early, it looks like, based on... Honestly, I haven't seen any videos. I've just seen people talking about, like...
I did watch the videos.
Mostly in Twitter talk about game devs being like, of course the general public doesn't understand how games are made at all. And they're like, because there's a lot of, what I've now inferred, a lot of just GTA fan being like, what the hell is this crap? It looks like shit. Like, what do you mean this doesn't, like, this can't be the next game. This looks terrible. And I'm like, this is what games in development look like.
Yeah,
like,
years
it
away.
It just doesn't form perfectly pristine and graphically great.
Right.
So that's been fun. Just realizing, oh yeah, right. No one actually understands how games are made. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's huge. And honestly, to me, I'm like, yeah, it sucks that it leaked. I feel bad for the devs. But I also don't think it's going to hurt them in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think this game's going to sell any less because of this.
No, of course not. Yeah, I don't think so either. But they don't get control of the flow of, like...
information right now.
Yeah.
They're not.
I don't know, because they said that there's going to be a female character, obviously, but I don't remember seeing anything about that.
There is. Yeah. There's a male and female protagonist, and it's like...
No, I meant... they announced that. I just meant... I don't remember them showing, like, screenshots or anything.
They have never shown anything like that. Yeah,
so now, like, we get to see that before they get to control how we see it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fucking cool, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it looks... The screenshot I saw, like, I'm like, it looks decent. It looks early still. Like,
yeah.
I can tell the graphics aren't... Like, the map isn't fully populated with everything they want in there to, like, really push the fidelity and, like, the realism of it. But...
Right.
They're getting there. Like... It's the start. They're experimenting with mechanics and missions and probably trying to get the storyline down, which I've also saw the rumor that it's very like Bonnie and Clyde is the story, that they're like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde storyline. So could be interesting. Still, like, looking at that, it's probably years out at this point still. Totally. And even longer. If the person stole source code, it's longer, I'll be honest. That delayed Half-Life 2 quite a while when someone stole Half-Life 2's source code.
Dang, that's just going to piss off everybody, every fan.
Yeah.
Not just the devs, obviously.
Well, they have to go through it now. They have to pick through it and, like, all right, guess to go look at all of our source code again and make sure that we worry about if the source code exists, are there exploits, security exploits and stuff that could, honestly, the console manufacturers are where they really worry about it.
Yeah.
Look at people can go through the source code and find injection stuff so they can take control of consoles.
Right.
Good job. Yeah, this is going to... I bet this just delays it. Probably at least 6 months, maybe a year, would be my thought. Will they figure this out?
I guess the person's trying to, like, get money or whatever, which seems unlikely. But maybe that's what happens. I don't know. But, like, internet points, like, what is this for, you know?
I mean, it's...
Prove they can.
Hacker culture. Yeah, prove they can.
It was through Slack, I thought.
It's possible. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the crazy thing, though. Like, when the Half-Life 2 thing happened, Valve worked with the FBI, and they made a sting operation. They totally arrested the guy. They got him. They got the guy to... They said, like, yeah, we'll pay you. We want to meet. Like, they got him to fly out, and they arrested him at the gate.
Nice.
So that's always the where I'm like, oh, don't try to extort these companies.
They
will try to get...
Yep.
Yeah, they will. But man, that was a big thing this morning. Big.
Yeah, yep. Huge. Fuck. So we are long, so let's maybe do what we've been playing quickly.
Sure.
But I do want to let everyone know that I am balls deep into Elden Ring again.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, that game. Fuck. Where Jesus, I haven't played since May, and now I'm just like, why did I put this down? Why did I stop playing this game? I know why I did, but
yeah,
I'm so into it again.
It's so good.
It's so good. I just stumbled into like this random hero's grave that was different than the other ones, where you had like some sort of light mechanic where you had to get enemies into the light, and everything just flowed. I just fell right back into it, and then for some reason, I don't know how, but I blitzed the capital. I got through the capital in about 3 hours. And when I say got through the capital, I mean like got through the two main bosses. I think they are the two main bosses, and got out of the capital through the outskirts to the snowy part.
Yep.
And I know I missed a ton. I'm gonna go back and do that shit. But I was just like, for the first time in this game, I mainlined something, and I didn't look at a guide. I just went where I thought I should go, and that's where I went. I climbed the fucking tree all the way to the top, and I was just like, this is designed so well. I know where I'm going. And then I think I benefited too from the change to co-op, where there's a summoning sign, and then like there's actually like signs on the ground, because they don't have to be in that area anymore. They can be somewhere else. So I did have a co-op partner for
nice.
The Spectre of Godric, I think.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah, and it was a good fight. Like, it wasn't a quick fight, but it was helpful to have someone else there. And then I did the second one myself, which was Morgott.
Yep.
And three or four tries on that one, and then I think I'm over leveled, so I'm able to hit hard. But it was fun, man. That capital is awesome. There's I'm in the sewers, I'm on the rooftops, there's so much shit.
It's huge. That I don't even think I've ever seen everything there. I mean, there's still a part of me that wonders if I've seen everything there or not. Yeah. I first playthrough didn't. I spent probably like twice the amount of time you spent there, and explored some side stuff in there, and like was just exploring. Second playthrough, I went deep in it, and I was like, okay. And I actually looked at not guides, but I was like, okay, I know that there's like a campfire, whatever they're called in the game, bonfire, grace points.
Site of grace. Yeah,
I know there was like 2 sites of grace I missed in that place, and I was like, I'm gonna find these things, because there's a huge chunk of the chaos storyline that I needed to do there, that I didn't do the first playthrough, and so, which is a complete different. I was like, I've never been here in the capital. I have no clue where this is. It's huge. There's so much in there. It's
Sorry, go ahead.
So much bigger than the Stormvale Castle, the first one.
Oh God, yeah.
It's probably like huge, 3 times the amount of content as Stormvale.
Well, I just run into like mini bosses. Like I run into like huge dragon, or like this fucking, I don't know. This is like the mutated tree dragon thingy. I just feel like there's so much, and I was only there for a short amount of time. What was I gonna say? Oh, I think for the first time, like, I know there's so many different storylines, and like there are different trophies for different endings you get or whatever, but I'm not really clear on who's connected to what. I think the hugging lady is one of them probably. But this is the first time where I was at a site of grace, and like Millennia, right? The person who's with you, left. She's like, I'm done, I'm good, and then she comes back. Spoilers, I guess, whatever. And she's like, we need to go to the top of the mountain to get the kindling, to light the burn the thorns so you can get through and become the Elden Lord. And I was like, and it's like a cardinal sin. I was like, oh shit, maybe I could not do that, and then the ending would be different than if I did do that. I don't know if you have a choice or not.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
There's no choice. You have to.
Oh, okay.
That's not what the different endings aren't.
Okay.
Aren't related to that. You have to burn those.
Yeah, I was wondering how else you get through there if you didn't like get the kindling.
No, you have
it or whatever.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
So. It's the ending decision is at the actual very end of the game. Unless you've done one specific one, and then it overrides everything else you've done, and that will be your ending. Which you probably haven't done. Honestly, it's convoluted as hell to do it.
No, if it's convoluted, I probably have not done it.
No.
Especially if it's following people, like their storylines and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, some people have died. I've killed some people somehow.
Yeah, if you went through the Capitol in 3 hours, you have not found this other storyline. Like, there's a bunch of stuff you have to do in the Capitol, and a specific place you have to go in the Capitol that is way off the beaten path.
To start it, or?
Not to start it, but to continue it.
Oh, I see.
Like, and you have to do that to get the ending. Like, that's doing what I'm talking about is what makes it so you get the chaos ending, basically.
I see.
But if you don't do it, you don't get chaos ending. But it's convoluted. I'm like,
And did you finish it, or not yet?
No, I didn't finish my second playthrough.
Right.
I was close. I was doing all the different storyline stuff, trying to keep that along, and then I just kind of eventually just fell away from the game, because I had other things to play.
Yep.
And I got a lot of game out of there. I mean, I was over 200 hours in the game, so I felt like it's cool. I got a lot out of here. So
I really want to beat it before Game of the Year talk, which is a couple months from now, obviously.
Yeah.
And still play a couple games in between. So I don't know. I might just mainline it.
If you mainline it, I bet you're done in like 15, 20 hours tops.
Okay. Yeah, I might do that. I feel like a good level, but I can always go back and do other stuff, I guess, later, or do a new build or whatever.
Yeah.
But
starting new was really cool. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, I might want to beat it.
Yeah.
So I can feel like I've beaten this game, because I fucking got over 80 hours into it now, and I really just want to put that notch in my belt, I guess. So I'll stick with that for what I've been playing. How about you?
So the weird one I've been playing is Cyberpunk again.
Oh, because of the fucking Netflix
they patched, and then they did the Netflix thing, and I've watched the Netflix thing, and the Netflix thing, honestly, is really fucking cool. I'll be honest. It's violent as all hell. Like, got to be prepared for that. It's over-the-top violence. Although it doesn't linger on the violence a lot. Like, it's very set-dressing to, like, the fact that why am I watching the show is because the characters are really cool. And it's telling kind of the story that I think the game wanted to tell, but better in some ways. Like, no, I wouldn't say the story better, because it's a very different story. But the anime can really dig into the themes a lot deeper than the interactive game gives you a lot of times. Like humanity, like what is replacing body parts and stuff. At what point do you stop being human? In some ways, like what is humanity? I don't know. I really enjoyed that, and I was like, oh, they patched in the game. I had a second playthrough that I was going through, like a different build, and I was like, sure, I'll just load that save up again and just kind of go back through. And there is no other game on the market that serves the fantasy that game makes.
Right. I believe
that's the thing about it. I play it, I'm like, is it a perfect game? No. Still flawed in a number of ways. No game-breaking bugs that I'm finding anymore, but there's nothing else that does that genre and that player fantasy like that game does.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't exist. So I think that's why people stick around. And then there's been a thing where people are like, since that Edge Runners came out on Netflix, the Steam stats for Cyberpunk have just been going up.
So, like The Witcher did the same thing.
It had the exact same thing. I'm trying to see. So in the past 24 hours on Steam, Cyberpunk 2077 peaked at just 85.5k people playing, which is the most played single player game on Steam.
Oh, damn.
Everything above it is a multiplayer game. And it is almost twice the player base of Elden Ring right now.
Is it really
which was
that
previous Huh?
Is it really that simple to like put some sort of other media, in it?
I think the key part is put in other media and make it good.
Oh yeah,
and that's what they did, and it's actually good. Like, that's the thing with CDPR, with the Witcher TV series. Although CDPR had nothing to do with that. At least the Witcher TV series is good, which makes more people watch and drives people to the stuff. Edge Runners is good. It's if you like cyberpunk things and stories and worlds,
right,
you're not getting a whole lot of it, and this is actually really well done. And it's not in the vein of your Ghost in the Shell. Like, I love Ghost in the Shell and like Blade Runner and stuff, and but they're very thoughtful. Not that Edge Runners is not thoughtful, but they're thoughtful, slow burn things. Edge Runners is not slow burn. It's high intensity action anime all the time.
Like right from the beginning? That's pretty cool.
Right from the start, right from the get-go, it's intense. And it takes time, and it will take time to let the characters build. And I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, is that it had really good characters in the end. And the core 2 characters, by the end, you're just like, yeah, this is really good. It's a tragedy, though. So
yeah,
it's pretty melancholy at the end. And you're like, well, that sucks.
How many episodes is it?
10.
Okay.
10 like 23-minute episodes. Soundtrack is cool, although that's all the reviews. That is the most, like, most people have really liked it and everything, but there's just been the few reviewers that nitpicking being the trailer song is "This Fire" by Franz Ferdinand. And they're like, I don't like that song. I'm nicking the anime for that. I'm like, okay. The opening's really cool. It's animated really well to the song. So, and the song thematically fits with what the game's, like, the game and Cyberpunk's about, like burning the corporations and like starting a fire. Like, it thematically works. It's just they're just like, oh, this isn't like hard beating techno or anything. I'm like, no, it's not.
Right. That makes it different and kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's not quite the same, but Imagine Dragons doing the theme for Arcane.
Yeah, it's similar vein to that. Weirdly, the anime uses a lot of the music from the Cyberpunk video game, like straight up.
The anime uses the music from the CD Projekt
2070.
Red?
Yeah, 2077.
Okay.
Like they licensed a bunch of them, pull it in, and it works really well, actually. I don't know.
Yeah,
I highly recommend it. Like, just content warning. It's really violent. There's some sexuality to it, but that's really more in the first episode, and then it's kind of downplayed throughout the rest. It's just
you at the beginning.
Yeah, kind of, and it's very quick, bursty type stuff. There is nudity throughout, but not in a way of like sexiness kind of way. It's just in a way of like, yeah, people are nude sometimes. Yeah, like, again, the themes of whenever you can replace your body, does your body even matter in a lot of ways?
Yeah.
Like, but so they go into that, but it's mostly just the violence. It's very over the top violence. So I would totally say content warning for that. If you're squeamish, probably not for you.
Well, I'm gonna check that out. That sounds like a pretty high recommendation on how
it was fun. I mean, I don't know if you'll like it or not. You're not huge into cyberpunk stories, so generally.
No, I'm not. I think I'll watch the first episode though. I wasn't gonna give it that time of day, but I think I'll give it the first one and see how it goes for me, and report back.
Yeah, I mean, it's short either way. So
I like that.
You're not out much time.
Speaking of short, did you watch Hulk this week? She-Hulk?
Did.
There's no post-credit.
There wasn't a stinger.
No. We were so sad.
They stopped because they didn't do a stinger because the end of the episode was teasing another superhero.
Yes.
That we hadn't actually seen in the MCU before.
Yep.
Well, officially in the MCU. I'm really excited because I assume that means this week's episode.
Yeah. The show's cool. The show's fucking
cool. It is really funny. I enjoy it a lot.
It's fucking hilarious, and it's like, it really is pulling in a lot of things.
Yeah. Avengers.
I love that. You want the Avengers? You want the one with the eye?
Avengers. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. This is episode 353 of Prof and Dev Play Games. If you like us, rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will see you next week when there will be not nearly as much news and a much shorter podcast next week.
All right. Later, everyone.
See ya.